Hello learners, welcome again to our chemistry from 2 lesson topic 1. Today I welcome you to a subtopic known as ionization. An atom can lose an electron. An atom can gain an electron. Is it true? The atoms that can lose electrons, not just losing electrons, losing the outermost electrons, are none other than atoms from metals. Remember in our previous lesson, we said that from group 1, 2, 3, those are metals, they can form ions by losing their outermost electrons. Those that I call the non-metals can also form iron, but as they form iron, they only form ions by gaining electrons. The process by which an atom either gains electrons or loses outermost electrons is known as ionization. Therefore, beginning with a metal, let's say we have sodium metal. As an example, sodium metal has an electron configuration of 2:8:1. Sodium metal can lose one electron, which is its valence electrons, to form a cation. What is a cation? A cation is the ion that is formed when an atom loses its outermost electron. And what is an ion? An ion is the ion formed when an atom gains an electron. So sodium being an example of a metal that must only form ion by losing its outermost electron, then we can go ahead and look at how it forms the ion. So we have sodium here, X. This crosses represents the electrons. This electron can be lost. When this electron is lost, we are going to remain with 2:8. Because one electron has been lost, the number of protons become more than the number of remaining electrons by 1. And that one more proton, being positively charged, is what gives sodium ion a positive charge. So this is called sodium ion. A positively charged ion is known as a cation. The process by which a metal forms iron by losing an outermost electron is known as oxidation. Therefore, loss of electron is known as oxidation. And this only happens for the metals as far as ionization is concerned. What about if it were aluminium metal, atomic number 13? We have the configuration as this. The crosses represent the electron. Two 2:8:3 is its electron configuration. For aluminium to form iron, to become stable, it must lose 3 outermost electrons to attain stability of 2:8. Because it has lost 3 outermost electrons, the number of protons are now 3 more than the number of remaining electrons, and therefore the 3 more protons, each being positively charged, contributes to the charge of the ion, and therefore we are going to have aluminium ion written like this. The lost electrons must be indicated on our far right. This is called aluminium ion. Why? It has lost 3 electrons, and because the number of protons now become more than the number of remaining electrons, the 3 more protons gives the aluminium its 3 positive charges. It is only metals that form ion by losing electrons, and therefore the ions that are formed must be positively charged, and we call them the cations. What about the non-metals? Non-metals, except group 8 elements, which are naturally stable, form ion by gaining electrons. Let's say we have oxygen. Oxygen is atomic number 8, therefore 2 is to 6. For oxygen to attain stability, it forms ion by gaining 2. So we're going to have 2 electrons there. When this atom gains 2 electrons, it forms ion with a negative charge. The electrons which are gained must be represented in dots. Because we are introducing 2 electrons and each having a negative charge, we're going to have the charge of the ion being 2 minus. Whenever nonmetals form ion by gaining, the name of the ion must end with IDE. So we are going to have oxide ion. If it were nitrogen, it would be nitride ion. Phosphorus, phosphide ion. Nitrogen, nitride ion. Fluorine, fluoride ion. Basically, nonmetals form ion by gaining, and the ion formed must be named with an IDE at the end. Oxygen, oxide ions. And the number of electron gained must always come closer to the atom that is gaining the electrons. And that is how elements normally form ions, metals by losing, nonmetals by gaining. The reason for losing or gaining electrons is for that particular atom to form a stable ion. A cation is the ion formed when an atom loses electrons and is normally positively charged. An ion, it is an ion that is formed when an element or an atom gains electron to become stable, and an ion is normally negatively charged. Thank you so much. Welcome again in our subsequent lessons.